you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking an all-time blues classic song. This is Hideaway by the great Freddie King. This has been covered by loads of great guitar players. There's lots of different versions around. Today I'm specifically going to be talking about the Freddie King version, but you should definitely explore the others and have a go at making it your own. There's quite a few things within this tune that are really good to learn about, mixing up the rhythm and lead particularly. I am going to be showing you the way that Freddie did it, which was using the thumb on the bass notes and the first finger to play a lot of the lead lines. Many of you will find that pretty awkward. I'm still finding it a little bit awkward, but I'm enjoying the journey of trying to get it together. You might want to do it with a pick. It's definitely possible to do it with a pick and just be moving from the rhythm to the lead stuff. There's nothing that should stop that. In fact, a lot of ways it's kind of easier. One of the key things about the way Freddie used to play, he had a plastic thumb pick, so like a country style thing. So his thumb would move normally, but he'd have a kind of a pick sound. And on the first finger, he had a metal finger pick, often what like banjo players and stuff use. So it had a very, very bright attacking tone there on the lead lines. So playing it with a pick in some ways sounds a little bit more like what he does. I'm quite enjoying the feeling of using my thumb to play the rhythmy chord parts and my finger to frantically pick out the lead line parts. You should have a go at doing both and see what feels best for you. So let's get to a close-up. I'm going to do it nice and slowly, first of all, just so you kind of get a bit of a look-see at what's going on, and then I'll try and break it down a bit more for you. So let's break this thing down one lick at a time. The first lick. Okay, open B string, second string that is. Then again, then second finger, hammers down in the second fret, still on the second string. Then we play the thinner string. And then we're going to play the second fret sliding up to the fourth fret. It's kind of a slow slide. It's not a lazy slide, okay? It's starting on the and after 3, technically the last triplet of beat 3, but I just count it as the and after 3. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 triplet, 1 triplet, okay? Now, getting the rhythm of that is important, knowing the count of it. Not sure. Sometimes I just think it's better to listen to the original recording and play along a lot, okay? That's generally better than just learning the count, okay? So lots of listening to the original recording, but I do think it can be helpful to know and understand some of the rhythmic counts as well as we go through. Now, after he's played that lick, he's moving to a rhythm part, which is essentially this, just a classic kind of a rock and roll thing. It's in the key of E. We've got first finger down in the second fret of the 5th string, and we're playing the open thicker string together. The basic riff would be 2nd fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret. Okay, he's playing it with a bit of palm mute as well, so the edge of the hand just resting on the strings. Again, listening for the amount of shuffle, okay? It's not straight. It's do, 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 do. I call it chunka, chunka. Ka-chunka, chunka, chunka. Okay, but there's a few little kind of quirks that I'll mention about the way that Freddie's doing it, which you may or may not choose to incorporate. After he's finished this lick, which is on beat 1, he's actually hitting an open A string on the way to doing the chunka chunka. Now, if I'm doing it on my own and I'm not trying to play it like Freddie, it's unlikely I'm going to play that note, but it's definitely there on the recording, okay? Then he's starting there, really, starting properly on beat 2, okay? So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, so we're starting with the 3rd finger down on the, or 4th, I sometimes use 4th finger if I'm feeling super lazy, but 3rd finger is probably better, technically. Up to you, whatever feels comfortable. But we're starting there on beat 2 with the 4th fret down, no matter what finger it is that you're using it. So 2, 3, and 4 triplet, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Now the 4 and is very often he plays this open strings and then puts first finger down. It's a very, very Freddie King thing to do, coming back into a new bar. Okay, so that would be the first thing I'd recommend that you get to grips with. And into the second lead lick, which is this. Okay, again, those lazy slides, they're not super quick. There's a beautiful laziness to them, which I think is worth paying attention to on the original recording. It's more essentially the same as the first lick, except without the... I must say, I very often put that in. Doesn't really matter, I guess. But again, technically, if you want to play it just like the record, there's not. It's just. So same as the first lick. Then sliding back 4 to 2. Flick off to the open string. 2nd fret on the 2nd string. And then back to the open thin string. Essentially the same pattern there. He doesn't hit the open A this time. He's managed to get his 2nd finger there in time. So he's actually starting on the and after 1 this time. So not so much on beat 2. Beat 2 is kind of easier, but you'll probably find as you get better at it that you will play something on the and after 1. So let me give you the first 4 bars there, or the intro and the first 3, I guess technically the first 3 bars of the 12-bar blues. 1, 2, 3 and 4 triplet, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 triplet, 3, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so you can see that I'm definitely playing on the and after 1 of the rhythm. Da dum ba dum. That is on the and after 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, one more time, nice and slow. 2, 3 and 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 2 triplet, 3, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now here again we're into the 3rd lead line. I think that's what's supposed to come out, but I'm not sure it's a mistake, but the first one, okay, with modern recording stuff, you'd probably be chopping that up and putting the inverted commas the right one in. But what Freddie plays on the original recording is definitely, so open 2nd string, hammer on the 2nd string, but instead of playing the thinner string, now you play the 2nd string again, then the 2nd string again. But this time you do hammer on 2nd fret and you play thinner string. It's one of those things that, you know, I've played this for a long time over the years in many different ways, mostly the Eric Clapton B-No version, I guess, but I never did that open B string. I always just did. It's just kind of, I think sometimes our minds imagine that it goes, but only when you really pay attention, you hear it. You know, so up to you which one you're going to do. You can either keep it strict like the Freddie one and go, or you can do like nearly everyone else does and go. So this time we're moving from the lead to the rhythm, but we start the rhythm right on beat 1. So we've come off here, 1, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so straight in, first finger, 2nd fret on the 4th string. We're now on the A chord, on the 4 chord of the blues. Now, again, strictly speaking, I'm only really hearing that note on the 4th string on the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But you know, if you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, that's what I do nearly all of the time. But again, strictly speaking, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So you can think you're just playing the bass note with the moving on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2nd. Now again, I'm using my 3rd finger to slide up to the 5th fret there. So yeah, in theory, probably using your little finger is more technically correct or whatever, but you know, whatever feels comfortable for you. Don't get too tangled up in you know, what should you know, what's right and what's not, because it's just music, and if it sounds great, then it is great, and it doesn't really matter what finger you use. So we're on to the next lick, which is again a repeat of the second one we had, except it doesn't have I see it's habit forming. It doesn't have the, it's just, okay, so that is all of that is stuff that we've had before. Okay, let me play it then up to that point. And in fact, everything right up to where we hit the 5 chord, the B7 chord, is you know, we've looked at already. So I'm going to play it nice and slowly from the top up to the point where we get to this B7, and I'll be playing that second fret repeated on the thinner string. So here we go, from the top, 2, 3. Okay, now we're at the B7 chord, part of our blues. Okay, so we're playing the second fret, 1 and 2 and 3, trip, 4, triplet. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3, triplet, 4, triplet. 1 and 2 and 3, triplet, 4, triplet. Next bar, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay. Okay, most of that you've seen before. That. It's the one little bit that's slightly awkward if you're using the first finger approach. That one little part feels a bit odd, I guess, going from the E string straight to the B string and then to the G. You've got those kind of 3 in a row, so it's kind of tempting to sweep it a bit, especially at a fast tempo. But again, you're better off practicing it nice and slow and controlled to make sure you get the rhythm of that right. Otherwise, it's easy for the rhythm in that part to go a little bit wonky. So from the B7 again, 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Then we've got here open G string, first finger hammer on the first fret of the 3rd string, then playing the thinnest E string. Now rhythmically here, counting it, it's really difficult, frankly, and you just need to listen to it. It's a classic blues riff. Listening to it a few times, I'll explain the fingering that I use, and but there's lots of different approaches to the fingering of this as well. Lots of people play it different ways, so find what works for you. I do the open G string, first finger hammer on first fret 3rd string, playing the thinnest string open. Now I use my little finger here on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then I'm using my 2nd finger to slide up from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret of the 3rd string, then open thinner string, then it's 3rd fret to 2nd fret slide, open G, and then 2nd finger 2nd fret 4th string. But again, I nearly always play that with the open E, and then I'm just kind of, I'm not trying to, it's accidentally happening the mute on the 2nd string, and then I'm just getting a gliss back. It's not really so calculated, like, because that sounds kind of wrong to me. It should be more sloppy than that. It's this 2nd to 4th fret. You know, with the first finger at that speed, you don't have the, you know, it's not jumping over the B string. It's going to touch it and kind of get a little click on it. that's what's going on. Okay, now after that, so slide second to fourth, then slide down to the open G, and then to the second fret on the fourth string. We've got the thinnest E string. Now this note, sometimes I think I can hear it there, sometimes I don't. If you're playing by yourself, it definitely makes it kind of work better as a piece. But whether it's really there or whether I just imagine it sometimes, I'm still debating. Thinnest E string, second fret, open B string, second string, third finger playing the second fret of the third string. And then we're either repeating it around or doing the solo. I will be taking you through the rest of this song some point, possibly not straight away because I've got to pick up my daughter from nursery. But I will come back to it because I've transcribed and practiced up the whole tune, and it's just wicked in every way. But for now, this is as much as we're going to be covering for this lesson, which is a great start. It's the head of the tune. So let me play it through now again, real slowly with the count. Hopefully we'll get all of those pieces together. So here we go. 2, 3 and 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 triplet, 3, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 triplet, 3, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 triplet. And now we're near enough full speed. 1, 2, 3. I really hope you enjoy having a go at Hideaway. It really is an all-time classic tune. You definitely should be checking out the Eric Clapton version off the Beano album. That's where I first encountered it, to tell the truth. Then I went backwards to find the original Freddie King version. A lot of great stuff to be learned in throughout this whole tune. Some really great riffage, which we're going to cover in future lessons for sure. We're going to look at the whole tune. Definitely one you should start exploring on your own in the meantime as well, seeing how much of it you can work out by ear. Blues is a language that is best learnt by ear. Listen to the original recording and trying to cop those parts, because you're going to hear subtle things, the volumes, the dynamics, the feeling of the stuff are things that I can't really teach you. You have to learn that direct from Freddie King. You know, I'm not the right dude to be teaching you that stuff. You need to learn it from the original guys, and you do that best by listening. So please, if you're learning this song, listen to it 100 times and really get it into your musical mind, so you get the right feel and the right groove and the right amount of shuffle and all of that stuff. It's really, really important. It's much more than just the notes. And that's, you only really get it by listening. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy playing this tune. Those of you that have got my blues lead guitar solos book, you have the whole transcription of that written out for you already with performance notes. If you haven't checked that out, do check out thejustinguitarstore.com and have a look. It's got some pretty incredible blues solos that I'm going to be covering more from shortly. So hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back for more from this awesome tune very soon. You take care of yourselves. Have a great week. Bye bye.